back to my channel again. My name is Noso, and today in this video I'll be updating you about the new hiring licensure pathway available for internationally educated nurses in relation to two provinces, especially province of Alberta and Nova Scotia. So if you are from one of these countries, US, Philippines, India, UK, Australia, Nigeria, Jamaica, New Zealand and Highland, and you're interested in becoming a Canadian RN in province of Alberta, then here are the process that you need to follow. And the first thing you need to do is to create an application online. When you are creating this application, just go on Google and go to College Connect, and this is where you can create your application. At the end of the video, I will be dropping the link to College Connect in the comment section so that you can have access to it. So the first thing you need to do is to create an online application, and secondly, you need to tell us who you are. I mean your name. You need to validate your identity. So with the identity, you can make use of any government ID issued card, such as international passports. You can make use of your driver's license. You can use your government voter's card, just a kind of government issue ID for you to verify your identity. And the last thing you need to do for this step one is to create an to make a payment of $173. This is just the application fee, which is not refundable. So after this, the next step you need to do is that you need to confirm your competency. What do I mean by this? As an internationally educated nurse, College of Registered Nurses of Alberta wants you to confirm your competency, like truly you are a registered nurse. So you can fulfill this through either of these following that I will be reading out. Number one thing is either you have passed your NCLEX RN, which means let's assume you are living in UK or living in US and you've cleared your NCLEX before. So this means you can confirm your competency with this. You don't have to do any other thing. But if you have not passed your NCLEX, you can as well confirm your competency through another thing, which means you must have a current registration. I mean current RN registration with your jurisdiction, which means if you are living in Nigeria, you have to be in good standing with Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. If you are in UK, US, you have to have a current active RN license. So with this, you can confirm your competency. Another thing you can do is to have equivalent post-secondary education, which means you must have a valid transcript from your university, which can actually confirm that you've had basic knowledge in nursing. And this one, you need to do credential evaluation for it, because you have to do a kind of credential evaluation to make sure that your education from your country is equivalent to Canadian standard. Another way you can prove to College of Nurses of Alberta that you are competent is either you complete ANAP. So ANAP is just Alberta Registered Nurses Assessment Program. So this is just a program that will assess your competency. I don't think I would want to advise anybody to go for this one, because you might possibly not pass the assessment. And another thing you can use to confirm your competency is through NCAS. This NCAS is Nursing Community Assessment Service. It's also an assessing body that will assess your nursing skills and knowledge. So I would just advise that if you have an active license with your current nursing regulatory body, this will actually really be a good fit, a good fit for you to confirm your competency. And this is just the second step. After confirming your competency, the next thing you need to do is to demonstrate your eligibility. That is, you need to do some criminal record check. They want to be sure that you are not under any investigative procedure. You've not committed any crime in your country. So this one, after initiating your application, you'll be receiving email from this nursing regulatory body to inform you of the next step. So just get yourself prepared that from your country you will need to do a criminal record check. I think this is usually valid for 3 months, so I will not advise you to quickly do it until they have requested for this, so it doesn't get expired. Another thing you'll be doing under this demonstration of your eligibility is that you will be attesting to truth, that all the informations that you've provided, they actually are correct and accurate. And lastly, you'll be answering some questions in relation to your character and your fitness, because they don't just want somebody that is not fit to just get license and at the end of the day won't be able to practice. So they want to be sure that you are very fit and you are of good character. And this is the third stage of the application process. So the fourth stage now is to prepare for practice in Alberta. How do you prepare for this? So after you've done everything, you've created your initial application, you've demonstrated your eligibility, you've confirmed your competency, they want to prepare you for the practice, which means you have to do some online courses. These are part of the requirements anyways. And you have basically 2 courses to complete online, which should take you just about 2 hours. They are just kind of, you read, then you answer as you proceed. So the first thing they need you to do is to complete your Alberta jurisprudence course. It's just jurisprudence question, like kind of, there will be a module for you to read and to answer at the end of the day. And the second thing that you'll be completing is a course that states protecting patients from sexual abuse and misconduct course. So this is also a course that you just have to read up and answer some basic questions at the end of the day. It should just take you just about 2 or 3 hours just to finish. And the last thing is they need you to purchase a professional liability protection. This one is mandatory. Like after you've submitted everything to them, it is compulsory that before this regulatory body issue you your nursing license, you must purchase this professional liability, because they don't want you to be practicing without any protection. In case you have any issue with your employer, you know, you must have a backup, you must have a kind of protection, people that can speak for you. And this is just the last step, the fourth step, I mean. The last step is just for you to pay and declare. So you have to make a payment of about $502. This one is different from the initial payment of $173 that you make initially. The initial one was just for you to create an application, and this last payment is just for them to issue you your license after they verified all your documents. Then you review your application and confirm the accuracy. And once you've met all these requirements, you'll be given your license. Then you become a member of College of Registered Nurses of Alberta. So these are just the basic steps that you need to follow when you are creating your application with College of Nurses of Alberta, for people that will be interested in exploring this route. And lastly, I need to quickly mention this, that apart from the initial application fee of $173 that you've paid, and the $502 for your hiring licensure fee, together with your liability insurance protection fee, there might still be some additional charges that you need to prepare yourself for, like in case whereby you are confirming your competency, you know, when you are requesting for the verification of your license from your country. For example, somebody in Nigeria now, you need to request for verification of your registration with Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria, which cost about 73,000 or thereabouts. So this is still additional costs on your part that you need to prepare your mind for. At the same time, by the time you are writing your National Council Licensure Examination exam, I mean your NCLEX RN, remember this exam costs $200 US, because by the time you submitted your application and CRNA, they've gone through all your application and they've deemed it fit for you to go and challenge your NCLEX RN. You need to register with Pearson VUE for you to be able to register and to write your exam. So this is additional costs on your part as well. And for somebody, possibly you are not able to demonstrate your competency through having good standing with your nursing jurisdiction, and you want to proceed with ANAP, like I mentioned. ANAP is a kind of assessment for internationally educated nurses whose education are not comparable to Canadian standard. So in case you are required to take this assessment, you still have to pay for it. So it's additional fee as well. And at the same time, if your education possibly is not comparable by the time they are reviewing your reports, your application, and they say that possibly your education from your country is not in any way comparable, you might be required to proceed to go and do a bridging program. So maybe they can ask you to go back to university to do some courses. This is additional cost on your part. So just get yourself prepared, and once you are well informed, you'll be well prepared, and it won't be a shock for you by the time you get to those stage. And that is basically everything regarding becoming a registered nurse with College of Registered Nurses of Alberta. So now let's quickly talk about Nova Scotia College of Nurses, because this is what people have actually been waiting for. Like, Nova Scotia has promised us that immediately it is May 1st, 2023, they are going to open up their portal. Of course, yes, they are opening up their portal by next week, May 1st. And I'm sure almost everybody are just eager. Like, I can't just imagine how many applications this nursing body will be receiving on May 1st. But there are some basic things that you still need to know before you proceed with this. So don't just get captivated with, oh, they promised to give us provisional license, which will allow us to work as an RN for 12 months. Yes, they've promised us that once we enter into Nova Scotia, we are going to get a good job. For sure, you will get job. They've promised us that we can write NCLEX, that they will give us 3 attempts. For sure, they will give you 3 attempts, but there are some terms and conditions as well that you just need to be aware. So let's quickly talk about becoming a registered nurse with Nursing Regulatory Board of Nova Scotia. What you need to know. If you're among any of these countries that I will be reading out, then you're eligible to apply by 1st of May this year. So if you are from Philippines, India, Nigeria, USA, UK, Australia, and New Zealand, then you are eligible by 1st of May this year to apply for this new RN licensure pathway. And also, apart from coming from any of these stated countries, whether you are BNSC holder or you are just diploma in nursing, you are qualified to apply for this expedited process. Because some people are saying, can I apply? I only have a diploma in nursing. As long as you have good standing with your nursing jurisdiction, you are good to go. Another thing is that if you are not from any of these countries that I've just stated, you can still apply, just that you cannot use this new pathway. You still have to go through the old pathway, meaning that you have to go through NNES, do your credential evaluation, get your advisory report, then port it to this nursing regulatory body. Then they can now proceed with the evaluation of your application. So basically, you'll be needing 3 things for this application. And the first thing is to create an online application with Nova Scotia College of Nursing. So you need to create an application, and I'm sure by the time you are creating this application, it's going to be asking you for some basic questions like your name, your age, your country of residence. So some common questions that you just have to fill just to create an application. And the second thing that you'll be needing is the verification of your registration from your jurisdiction. I mean, from your country of residence, which means if you are living in Nigeria or UK or US, they want you to be in good standing with your nursing regulatory body before you can apply. So, which means you must have an active license before you can apply for this new registration process. I have some friends who are already asking me whether they can proceed with their verification of registration before May 1st. No, there's no how you can do that one, because by the time you request for verification of your registration, and Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria, for example, want to process this verification, they don't have any designated address where they are going to send this your verification to, and that is why you just have to stay a little bit patient till May 1st when you've created your application, because I want to assume that after creating an application online, there should be an official form that you can use to request for this verification of registration from your country of residence. And this is the second requirement you'll be needing. And the third thing basically that you'll be needing is a criminal record check. And so this is just basically for becoming a registered nurse with Nova Scotia College of Nursing. So at this point, I need to state it that there are some people asking me for this provisional license that they promise to be issuing. Yes, they'll be giving you after they've reviewed your application and they see that you are fit to be offered this provisional license. But remember, this license is going to be valid for 12 months, which means by the time you are creating your application for this RN licensure, I expect you to be processing your immigration alongside with it. I know a lot of people are still getting this confused. Like, once they've processed their RN licensure process, they think it qualifies them to just come into Canada just like that. Don't be in a haste to request for this provisional license because it's only valid for 12 months. And know that if you don't have any means of coming into Canada, this license will surely expire. And you know that once they have issued you this provisional license that is going to be valid for 12 months, they are giving you just 1 year to write your NCLEX RN, which means if you are not able to meet these requirements within 1 year, I mean 3 attempts within 1 year, you will be asked to go back to school, like to go and do bridging courses before you can now be qualified again to get authorization to test. So this thing is kind of dicey, which I just want everybody to apply wisdom to. Don't, because you want to japa, you know, that's our slang, and just mingle up things. Try and stay patient, follow the due process. And what I mean by this is that by the time you've reviewed your application and they have offered you provisional license, you can always decline it. Like, nobody's going to force you to take the provisional license unless you are sure that you have gotten a kind of good immigration pathway. Either you want to come in to study, like I said, or you've gotten a job and your employer is ready to sponsor your traveling. And if you want to come in through permanent residence, you know the process. Like I had that one already in one of my videos that I've done. What you need to do, your credential evaluation, your English language IELTS general that you need to do before you can initiate this process. Note that after you've submitted everything, I mean, you've initiated an application, you've sent in your verification of registration, your criminal record check, by the time they received the last document, it will be taking this nursing regulatory body just 5 days to review your application entirely, and they'll be getting back to you to see if you're eligible to sit for the NCLEX RN. And if you're not eligible, then they will be informing you of the next step, whether you need NCAS assessment or you need bridging courses that you need to take before you can now become a registered nurse. And lastly, I need to state that you are responsible to schedule your exam and to make all the necessary payments. So this body are not in any way going to be paying for your examination fee as well as the application fee. So in case you have any question regarding this video I've just made, please feel free to drop it for me in the comment section, and I promise to answer them as soon as possible. If this is your first time of coming across my YouTube channel, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Remember to hit the notification bell so you get notified each time I drop a new video. And for all my returning subscribers, I say thank you so much for coming and coming again to rewatch. God bless you all. Bye-bye.